You know, in today's world, with the way the super rich are behaving, I would not be surprised if they really just decide to move into a big space station up in space and leave the rest of us smart people and non-greedy people stuck on Earth. And hopefully Earth will not become the shit pile that it is portrayed in Neil Blomkamp's Elysium. As his follow-up to District 9 from 2009, Elysium is set in the year 2154. Why is 2154 the most overused year in futuristic movies? I mean, that was the year in Avatar, and now that's the year in Elysium. Popular year. So in this future, Earth has become so overpopulated to the point where it's pretty much a third world country. All of the wealthy douchebags, as I mentioned, have moved up to a giant space station up in space called Elysium, where you could be cured of any disease. It's basically the equivalent of Beverly Hills. After suffering an accident that leaves him with radiation sickness, Max DaCosta, played by Matt Damon, I couldn't help myself, played by Matt Damon, is given a special suit in order to get to Elysium to cure himself, but he gets pulled into a job that could not only save his life, but everyone else on the planet Earth. Now, as I mentioned, this is from director Neil Blomkamp, who made the out-of-nowhere sleeper hit District 9, which, if you've seen my top 10 science fiction films, you know that's one of my favorites, at number 9. I never really noticed I put it at number 9 until making this video, but whatever. That was a movie that was really creative, really impressive. It had a strong message about poverty and racism in a way, and it was a very impressive sci-fi action movie for being at a budget of $30 million. So after District 9, everybody has been anticipating his next movie. Like Pacific Rim, this is one of the most original movies I have seen this year. I mean, it may have elements from other movies that aren't so original, but the idea is something I've never seen before, at least for me personally. So I always give a movie extra points for being original. It's got a great cast with Matt Damon, Jodie Foster, Charlotte Copley, who was in District 9, and Alice Braga, who, if you've seen Predators, she was the Black Ops soldier. And all these actors do give really good performances. Jodie Foster didn't seem too into her role, but I guess maybe that's the way the character was written, to be this snobby rich person. And Charlotte Copley is the one that steals the show for me. As good as Matt Damon is, Charlotte Copley is the best actor in the movie. To see him go from this nerdy government worker in District 9 to this horrible soldier for actions that they tell us he's done in the movie. And for some of the actions he does in the movie, it's a pretty neat transition. The effects are good, and it is not afraid to be a violent movie at all. I mean, right before going to see this movie, I saw a trailer for it on TV, and it said Elysium Rated R. And I'm like, I thought this was going to be PG-13. I had no idea this was actually going to be rated R. I also like some of the twists and turns the movie takes, which, you know, for spoiler's sake, I won't say, but there were times where I didn't expect things to go a certain way. And it does have a very clear, strong message about poverty. So clear that he tries to knock you over the head with it several times, to the point where I'm like, okay, I get it. Stop it, please. I got the idea. Falling on the feet of the message that just beats you over the head continuously, I did have some more problems with this movie. This isn't all perfect. And I don't even know if these really are complaints as much as they are comparisons to District 9. While I did mention the effects were good, they don't seem that special because for this movie, Blomkamp was given a much bigger budget at $90 million and had more freedom to show and do more. When you watch District 9, you were so impressed by the CG on the prawns, and then when you find out how much it cost at $30 million again, that makes you go, no, that looks like $100 million. That just makes the movie even more impressive. And in Elysium, the effects are once again good, but they just aren't that impressive when compared only to District 9. I also had a problem with the action scenes. There were some action scenes that were shot from a distance and actually looked cool, but there were other times when it was like a Fisticuffs with Matt Damon and Charlotte Copley, in which the editing was really choppy and the camera was really in your face. It reminded me of Batman Begins. As great as that movie was, the fight scenes in Batman Begins were sloppy and one of the worst I've seen in terms of an editing standpoint. And when you, again, I hate to compare the two movies, but when you watch District 9, the action is really impressive and really good. And then when you look at this movie, you're like, what happened? Why is the action all close up? Why is it edited so poorly? Those are, like, I guess those are sort of unfair complaints because I'm just making comparisons to District 9, but that movie was such a smash when it came in, and Neil Blomkamp got such recognition for that, that in a way, Elysium, when compared to District 9, is kind of a disappointment. But just in comparison to District 9, because as a movie on its own, it's really good, and I can't wait to see what Blomkamp does next. It's worth seeing in your lifetime, and I hope Neil Blomkamp doesn't make a bad movie soon. So that's my review for Elysium. Leave a comment if you've seen the movie, subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews in the future. Check out my other channel, AlexG8462. Tell your friends about me. This has been The Cinemas with Mr. Robinson. And remember, know it before you see it. See you guys later.